Good morning, boys and girls. I'm Miss Lydia from the Boston Library. Thank you so much for joining me for story time. Today is actually National Inspire Your Heart with Art Day. So I have some art-inspired books to share with you. Our first story is called Dog Loves Drawing by Louise Yates. Dog loved books. He loved books so much that he opened his own bookshop. When he wasn't sharing books with others, Dog was reading them himself. One morning, a package arrived. Inside was a book, but as Dog opened it up, he saw, to his surprise, that it had no words and no pictures. How curious, he thought. Just inside the cover, he noticed a message from his Aunt Dora that read, "To my dearest dog, may the lines you draw open a door to some wonderful adventures. Love from your Aunt Dora." It was a sketchbook. Dog knew exactly what to do. He pulled out his pens and laid out his brushes, sharpened his pencils, took a deep breath, and drew a door. He stepped through it, and on the empty page in front of him, Dog drew a stick man. "Hello," said the stick man. "Hello," said Dog. "I'm not sure what else to draw." "Let's doodle," suggested the stick man. That's the best way to come up with ideas. So that's what they did. Then they turned the page together. "It would be even more fun if there were others to join in," said Dog. So Dog drew a duck. And the duck drew an owl, and the owl drew a crab. And the crab did some coloring in. See, he colored in the duck. Soon they were all spilling onto the next page. What now, they wondered. "Let's go on an outing," hooted the owl. So Dog drew a train. And they all climbed aboard. While the duck was arguing with the others about who should drive, the stick man drew himself a driver's hat, scribbled some steam, and they were off. The scenery streaked past them. They were traveling so fast. At last, the stick man drew the train to a stop. Dog got out and drew a boat, while the crab scribbled some sea. They climbed aboard, all except the crab, who clung to the side. The stick man drew some sandwiches because he was very hungry. The owl copied the sandwiches because she was hungry too. And the duck drew an enormous cake because he was the hungriest of them all. Dog colored in the cloudless sky, and they drifted. The boat drifted a long way before the land appeared. They all got out and stretched their legs. The crab drew a parasol to protect himself from the sun. Then the duck decided to draw a monster. And that spoiled everything. The monster chased them all the way around the island and onto the next page. Then Dog had a brilliant idea. He quickly drew a door and leaped through it. On the other side, he found himself back in the bookshop. He turned to the last page of his sketchbook and made sure that his friends were safe and that the monster could not escape. So he put some chains on the door there to keep the monster in, and all of his friends are safe. Then he dashed out to buy some more paper. Dog loves drawing. And the very next thing he drew was a thank you card for his Aunt Dora. And there he has all his friends. And his thank you note says, "Dear Aunt Dora, thank you very much for my sketchbook. With love, from Dog." And there's Aunt Dora getting the thank you note. Our next book is called The Dot by Peter H. Reynolds. Art class was over, but Vashti sat glued to her chair. Her paper was empty. Vashti's teacher leaned over the blank paper. "Ah, a polar bear in a snowstorm," she said. "Very funny," said Vashti. "I just can't draw." Her teacher smiled. "Just make a mark and see where it takes you." Vashti grabbed a marker and gave the paper a good, strong jab. There. The teacher picked up the paper and studied it carefully. She pushed the paper towards Vashti and quietly said, "Now sign it." Look, there's just one little dot on there. Vashti thought for a moment. "Well, maybe I can't draw, but I can sign my name." The next week, when Vashti walked into art class, she was surprised to see what was hanging above the teacher's desk. It was the little dot that she had drawn, her dot, and it was framed in swirly gold. I can make a better dot than that. She opened her never-before-used set of watercolors and set to work. Vashti painted and painted. A red dot, a purple dot, a yellow dot, a blue dot. The blue mixed with the yellow, and she discovered that she could make a green dot. Vashti kept experimenting, lots of little dots in many colors. If I can make little dots, I can make big dots too. And Vashti splashed her colors with the biggest brush and the biggest paper to make even bigger dots. Vashti even made a dot by not painting a dot. Look, she colored it all the way around and left that space open so it looks like a white dot. At the school art show a few weeks later, Vashti's many dots made quite a splash. Look at all those dots that she made. Vashti noticed a little boy gazing up at her. "You're a really great artist. I wish I could draw," he said. "I bet you can," said Vashti. "Me? No, not me. I can't draw a straight line with a ruler." Vashti smiled. She handed the boy a blank sheet of paper. "Show me." The boy's pencil shook as he drew his line. Vashti stared at the boy's squiggle. See that squiggly line there? And then she said, "Sign it," just like the teacher said to her. Our last book today is called Maybe Something Beautiful, How Art Transformed a Neighborhood by F. Isabel Campoy and Theresa Howell, illustrated by Rafael Lopez. In the heart of a gray city, there lived a girl who loved to doodle, draw, color, and paint. Every time she saw a blank piece of paper, Mira thought to herself, maybe. And because of this, her room was filled with color, and her heart was filled with joy. See how colorful her room is? On her way to school one day, Mira gave a round apple to Mr. Henry, the owner of the shop down the street. She gave a flower to Mrs. Lopez, the lady with the sparkling eyes. See her pictures there? She gave a songbird to Mr. Sachs and a red heart to the policeman who walked up and down the streets. On her way home, Mira taped a glowing sun onto the wall in the shadows. Her city was less gray, but not much. The next day, Mira saw a man with a pocket full of paintbrushes. He gazed at the wall. He looked at her sun. He held his fingers up in a square and peered through them. He thought. What do you see? Mira asked. Maybe something beautiful, the man replied. Then, just like that, he dipped a brush into the paint. Bam! Pow! Shadows scurried away. Sky blue cut through the gloom. The man's laughter was like a rainbow spreading across the sky. Who are you? Mira asked. I'm an artist, he said. A muralist. I paint on walls. I'm an artist too, she told him. And he handed Mira a brush. Then, come on. Mira dipped it in the loudest color she saw. Wowee! The wall lit up like sunshine. As the man drew pictures on the bricks, Mira added color, punch, and pizzazz. Soon, Mr. Sachs joined in. Then came others. Everyone painted to the rhythm, salsa, merengue, and bebop. The policeman walked up. Excuse me, he said. The music stopped. Mira put her paintbrush down. They were surely in trouble. The officer cleared his throat, then paused. May I paint with you? He asked. So Mira handed him a paintbrush, and the music started again. Teachers and papas jumped in, babies too. Mira and the man handed out brush after brush. Color spread through the streets, and so did joy. Wherever Mira and the man went, art followed like the string of a kite. After they colored the walls, they painted utility boxes and benches. They decorated sidewalks with poetry and shine, and everyone danced. Together, they created something more beautiful than they had ever imagined. When their clothes were splattered with a million colors, everyone sat down to rest, except the muralist. His eyes sparkled. You, my friends, are all artists, he told them. The world is your canvas. He smiled wide, then pulled everything together in big, sweeping motions. His paintbrush was like a magic wand. When he was finished, Mira added one more bird way up in the sky. Maybe, she thought, just maybe. And then here's our note from the authors. It says, maybe something beautiful is based on a true story. At one time, the colorful East Village near downtown San Diego, California, did not have murals on the walls, nor quotes from Gandhi, Martin Luther King, or Cesar Chavez written on the sidewalks. Benches were not the works of art that you can see now, and people living in the area were not part of the vibrant community that they are today. Instead, the streets were gray and drab. But one day, a husband and wife team, he an artist, she a graphic designer and community leader, moved in and transformed their neighborhood into a place of beauty. There you can see some of the murals that they painted. Maybe Something Beautiful, illustrated by the muralist who inspired it, was written in honor of Rafael and Candace Lopez and all the quiet leaders in our neighborhoods. It is an invitation to transform not only the walls and streets of our cities, but also the minds and hearts of communities. I hope our art stories have inspired you to go and create something of your own today. Have a wonderful week.